Commander Elias Rowan stood in the circular tribunal chamber of the Helios Coalition, hands clasped behind his back, eyes fixed forward. Around him rose tiers of alien dignitaries, scaled, feathered, crystalline, and forms that defied human anatomy entirely. Their combined gazes pressed down on him like gravity. For repeated insubordination, intoned the High Arbiter, a towering being of translucent light, and for defying Coalition command during the Skarn border conflict, you are hereby stripped of rank, reassigned to frontier status, and sentenced under Article 7. A murmur rippled through the chamber. Elias already knew what Article 7 meant. No prison. No execution. Something worse. You will accept a binding interspecies union, the Arbiter continued, voice echoing, with a member of a subordinate, non-strategic species. One deemed politically insignificant. Punishment disguised as mercy. Elias exhaled slowly. And refusal? Is not an option, the Arbiter replied. A hologram flickered to life in the center of the chamber. It showed a slender alien woman standing alone in a stark holding cell. Her skin was ash gray, her eyes too bright, almost metallic. Her posture was relaxed, almost indifferent. This is Subject K, 47, the Arbiter said. A Virexian exile. No territory. No political value. No known combat achievements. Worthless, by Coalition standards. The word stung more than Elias expected. She will be your bride, the Arbiter finished. Effective immediately. The gavel struck. The sentence was complete. They met 3 hours later aboard a decommissioned transport ship bound for the outer systems. Elias expected anger. Or fear. Or, at least, resentment. Instead, the woman studied him with calm curiosity as magnetic cuffs disengaged from her wrists. So, she said, her voice smooth, accented but fluent in Terran standard. You are the punishment. Elias blinked. Excuse me? A faint smile curved her lips. Apologies. Humor does not translate well across species. He offered a stiff nod. Commander Elias Rowan. Formerly. She tilted her head. I am called Nisara. They stood in silence for a moment, the hum of the ship filling the space between them. I didn't ask for this, Elias said finally. Nor did I, Nisara replied. But the Coalition believes suffering is most effective when shared. That earned a dry chuckle from him. They're not wrong. As the ship jumped into hyperspace, Elias noticed something odd. Despite being labeled insignificant, Nisara carried herself like someone who had never once been powerless. The frontier world they were assigned to was called Kelt 9, a dust-choked mining colony perched on the edge of unclaimed space. Lawless. Dangerous. Forgotten. Perfect exile. The first week passed quietly. Elias worked maintenance shifts to earn ration credits. Nisara explored the settlement, returning each evening with observations that were unsettling. Your perimeter defenses are poorly placed, she remarked one night while they shared a sparse meal. And the southern ridge offers a sniper's vantage point. Elias frowned. You sound like a soldier. She met his gaze. I was trained in many disciplines, but the Coalition file is a lie, she said simply. Before he could press further, alarms blared across the settlement. Pirates. They came hard and fast, dropships screaming through the sky, plasma fire tearing into hub units. Elias grabbed the nearest rifle and ran toward the chaos. Nisara was already gone. He found her at the southern ridge, standing, alone, unarmed. Nisara, he shouted. Get down. She turned and smiled. Then she moved. Elias had fought in 3 major wars. He had seen elite commandos, genetically enhanced shock troops, Even mech soldiers tear through enemy lines. None of them moved like her. Nasara flowed through the battlefield, disarming pirates with precise strikes, turning their own weapons against them. Her movements were graceful, lethal, efficient. In less than 5 minutes, the ridge was silent. Bodies littered the ground. Elias stared. "What are you?" he whispered. Nasara wiped a smear of alien blood from her cheek. "Virexian." "That's not what I meant." She met his eyes, something ancient flickering behind them. "I was not always an exile." That night, she told him the truth. The Virexians were once feared across the galaxy, not for conquest, but for warcraft. Their warriors were bred, trained, and perfected over centuries. Nasara had been one of their greatest champions. "So, why call you worthless?" Elias asked. "Because I refuse to fight for a lie," she said. "My people allied with the Coalition long ago. When the Coalition demanded genocide of a rival species, I disobeyed. And paid for it." She nodded. "Stripped of honor. Labeled insignificant. Exiled." Elias clenched his jaw. "Sounds familiar." Their eyes met. Something unspoken passed between them, an understanding forged not in words, but in shared defiance. Word spread quickly. Pirates stopped raiding Kelt 9. Then slavers avoided it. Then even Coalition patrols began rerouting. They whispered of a gray death haunting the frontier. Elias became more than a mechanic. He organized defenses, trained colonists, negotiated with nearby systems. And Nasara stood beside him, not as a weapon, but as a partner. Over time, something deeper grew. Not passion born of desperation, but respect, trust, love. When the Coalition finally returned, it was with an armada. The High Arbiter appeared on hologram above the settlement. "Commander Rowan," it intoned. "Your exile has proven disruptive." Nasara stepped forward. "You sent me here to disappear. And instead," Elias said, "you created a force beyond your control." The Arbiter's light flickered. "Subject K, 47 will be reclaimed." Nasara laughed softly. "You still don't understand humans, do you?" Elias took her hand. "We don't give up what we love," he said. "Especially when it's been used against us." The colonists stood behind them. So did ships. Hundreds of them. Independent worlds, outcasts, traitors, former enemies, all drawn by stories of a human and his so-called worthless bride. The Arbiter hesitated. For the first time in recorded Coalition history. "Withdraw," it finally commanded. The Armada vanished into hyperspace. Years later, history would record the event differently. They would say the Coalition's greatest mistake was not exiling a human commander, nor marrying him to a Virexian warrior. It was underestimating what happens when you punish someone by giving them everything they need to change the galaxy. Nasara stood on the balcony of their home, watching twin suns set over Kelt 9. "Do you regret it?" she asked softly. Elias slipped an arm around her. "Being punished?" She smiled. "No," he said. "I regret they ever thought you were worthless." She leaned into him, deadly hands gentle for once. And somewhere, far away, the galaxy quietly learned to fear the consequences of arrogance.